In this video, we're going to talk about Dark Dimension 6. It's about to start, and we're going to take a look at a few things. Missing rewards, when does it start, which characters we are going to take, and also some gameplay of Val. Is Val like overrated or in terms of Dark Dimension, or is a character that you must take for sure? So in this video, we're going to talk about all of those topics related with Dark Dimension, so you can get your weekly dose of Dark Dimension content. And as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure to smash that like button. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about Dark Dimension 6. As I just mentioned, and as we have seen previously on the blog post, it's going to start on June 27 at 5 p.m, which is literally less than 48 hours, no, 36 hours. It's less than 36 hours from now, and we are almost ready to start. I'm going to show you which characters I'm going to do, which characters I'm going to take, and of course, you should join us on Twitch and on YouTube live almost every day during the week, where I'll be facing these challenges in terms of Dark Dimension, and you can see for yourself that this Dark Dimension 6 is literally something else. But this Dark Dimension 6 is literally something else, not only because of the huge challenge, but also the rewards. Some people still don't understand the magnitude of Super Scroll. Some people are still not aware of how powerful this character is really going to be to the game and how much is going to change the meta. But yes, it's definitely something that should start paying attention, because yes, this character is really going to change how we play Marvel Strike Force. The fact that he's so plug and play and the fact that he brings so many bonuses to the match is really going to change it. And unlocking Super Scroll early on is going to give you a massive advantage, way more significant than you felt by unlocking Apocalypse, right? So it's going to be definitely a big deal. Now, there are some controversies, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments below how do you feel about this. But Scopely lied to us or cheat us, or I don't know exactly. I already made a report about this situation. They are looking into it. But on the last day of the calendar, the countdown for Dark Dimension, there were 10 orbs available. They said, we can see it right there, 20,000 fragments, that means 10 orbs. And we didn't got any of those 10 orbs. So what's up, Scopely? Where are our 10 orbs? I'm sure that with these 10 orbs, a lot of people would be able to do Dark Dimension tomorrow, including myself. And now it's no longer the case because we didn't got the orbs. I think maybe I got one orb. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's a big problem. And because we have multiple events with milestones at the same time, where you can also get these orbs, it could go unnoticed. Maybe you were obtaining a lot of orbs from the other events and it went unnoticed. Okay, so with this in mind, with the how do you say it, with the with this issue created by Scopely, the only good way of getting the gear that you need, the teal gear, gear tier 18, is still in the store. And I've been refreshing my gold store pretty much daily, trying to obtain the gear. But as always, the gear is always very one-sided. You get a lot of one type and you get literally nothing of the other. So after they influence you to buy the gear. The problem is that there is still no gear available. We don't know for sure if there will be gear available in the future, but it's definitely a big deal. So my skill gear right now is the only that is in balance, but you can see from the orbs or the offers that we don't have anything available. Okay, so in terms of which characters I'm going to take for the first few nodes, we have my selection right here. So Captain America is ready to go. Then we have Black Widow. She's also ready to go in terms of gear. I just have to put the levels on her. Then I'm going to take Nemesis. Very, very powerful. I think he's going to be a great character. He's almost ready to go. As you can see, we have 80 on one side and we have 50 on the other side. Huge discrepancy. You cannot tell me that this is not on purpose. This is definitely on purpose. This is how Scopely manipulates us into spending more money in the game, is by manipulating the rates of each type of the items you get. So beyond the Captain America, Black Widow, we're also going to take Kang. As you can see, Kang is also very close to completion. Maybe with the event that we have going on right now, I'm going to be able to complete him. And then we have Nemesis, and finally we have Spider-Weaver. Am I still going to take Spider-Weaver as my first Mystic character? That was the plan, but I'm not sure anymore. And this happened after I played with Val. So Val, unfortunately, it's so overpowered even at low gear. So you are taking a look at only 2 yellow stars, 2 red stars, and Isolate Blue level 3. Nothing special. This character is absolutely ridiculous, and what he brings to the table is just too much to ignore. So you can see that even at 2 yellow, 2 red, with teal gear and level 85, Val is sitting at 800,000 health, which is pretty much massive. We have other characters that we're gonna take to Dark Dimension 6 that even at 7 yellow stars and 6 red stars, they don't have anywhere near the same amount of health. Then on top of that, all of Val's abilities are extremely powerful. With the basic, she copies positive effects from the allies, gives to herself, and also applies heal block to the enemies, which is going to be extremely convenient. With a special, she applies ability block not to one target, but to all targets in the proximity of the primary target, so adjacent targets, for 2 turns. Massive, it's absolutely massive. And then she also applies exposed and applies defense down. So this character is absolutely ridiculous, and if this character gains 50% more damage against the villains, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then we have the most important ability of Val, in my opinion, which is the ultimate. The ultimate is able to apply 2 death proof, 2 evades, and 2 deflects to hero allies. So this is going to be massive, and this is going to influence a little bit which characters you want to bring together with Val. You don't want to bring way too many villains, otherwise you're going to waste this ability away. But it's fine even if you bring a few villains. But the best part of the ultimate is the fact that she, it, they, them, Bebop can revive 2 allies. The fact that you can revive 2 allies and the fact that Val is so dense in terms of health means that anytime during the match you're gonna be able to revive these characters. And we have to talk about the cherry on top. The cherry on top is the passive and the exposed mechanic. So we didn't know exactly how this exposed mechanic is going to work. It works in different ways. First off, it has a resist check, so if you don't have enough focus, the exposed can be resisted, so be careful with that. Even if the characters have immunity, you can apply the exposed as long as you have enough focus. So it's very important to make sure that your Val has enough focus. Is that going to require you to change the ISO weight? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Maybe just give her hey, they, them, Bebop, more yellow stars and red stars. But it's definitely going to be important, the increase in focus. And then on top of that, we have additional speed bar and energy to this character. So while the ultimate seems like this impossible ability that you can never use because it has a cooldown of 10 energy, which is absolutely massive, you can actually use this ability all the time. It's insane, because if you use all your characters to attack into the exposed character, and if you apply multiple exposes, which you can all the time, then you can literally spam the special and ultimate of Val every other turn, because she, they, them, it, Bebop gets so much energy. It's pretty much ridiculous. So with this said, let me show you, instead of me telling you, let me show you how exactly Val is so powerful, and then how this character is unfortunately a must-have first pick decision in terms of Dark Dimension 6. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here we are. Let's take a look at this character in action. This is the team I'm gonna take, and you can see that my team is not even full health or anything like that. And I'm taking one of the choices that I'm considering for Dark Dimension 6. So we have Kang, we have Kestrel, we have Phyla-Vell, and we have Star-Lord T'Challa. Each of these characters synergizes well with what Val is able to provide, and because they are also heroes. So if we have the more heroes we have, the better. Okay, so we apply that exposed to Winter Soldier. You also want to make sure that you apply exposed or characters that have taunt or characters that have a lot of HP, because, well, you literally want to attack them as often as possible. So it's going to be very, very important that you can do just that. Okay, so unfortunately, we apply that exposed to a character that died way too fast. And now we are going to use the basic in order to apply more exposed. So once again, you want to make sure that you do these to characters that have a lot of health and probably not defense down. Okay, so you can see that Kang once again is triggering the exposed. The isolate does not trigger the exposed, so keep that in mind. And we have to be careful because you don't want to just keep killing the target, as you want to get as much energy as possible. So you can see that I'm on 6 out of 10 energy, and now I apply another exposed. If you have a character that gives you counters, this is going to be great because you can apply multiple exposes easily. If you can't, then it's not super easy. Okay, so more energy to Val. And now you're going to apply all of these defense downs. You kind of don't want to apply defense down to the character with expose. It's just so inconvenient. Okay, we are going to do the ultimate now. So I'm going to use the isolate attack to apply exposed if he doesn't get resisted. Let's see. Okay, we applied exposed, and now you're going to revive 2 characters. Look at this. This is massive. Every time they revive, they get their on-spawn effects, which is going to increase their value even more. Okay, so with Star-Lord T'Challa, I'm using him as a skirmisher, which is unusual, but we need someone to apply the vulnerabilities, and I thought it was a good idea for him. And now you see the combination, right? He copies all those positive effects that Val gave to all hero allies, and if he has that proof, he's gonna get Drain from Phyla-Vell. This is why we have this combination of characters. We have not only power, but strategy and also utility. Okay, with Phyla-Vell, we are going to use our basic, give more energy to Val, and we just use the ultimate. So this is what I want to see. Now that we just used the ultimate, let's see how much energy Val already has after we attack a few times. You can see here that Kestrel pinging is inconvenient and it doesn't trigger the Val effect, but that's fine. Okay, so that resulted probably in... oh, you can see, we just used her ultimate and they, them, it, be pop already has like 7 out of 10 energy, which is just massive. And we don't even have to use the ability, so that's the funny part, is that the ability is so impactful that you get it more often than you need to use it. Okay, so this is why you should apply the exposed to characters with taunt. So if you get stuck behind a character with taunt, you can just attack it anyway. And here we are going to attack once again. Star-Lord keeps copying those positive effects from Kestrel. Once again, Val can also copy the positive effects from allies with the basic. And overall, I think we have a great combination of characters here. And yeah, this is why, like, it doesn't matter which characters you are using. If you are using a decent amount of hero characters, you definitely want to include Val on your main team. Okay, so let's speed up this. Let's see how it goes. Maybe have some more action, but I want to talk about something else, which is the biggest problem of Val overall. Okay, so we have 2 exposeds. We are going for the third. Okay, I'm going to waste the ultimate here. We had no reason to do that ultimate, but because we are getting those extra positive effects, that's nice to have. Now, you could put Phyla-Vell next to Star-Lord T'Challa and get Kestrel in the middle instead of Kang. Kang, once again, because he's a villain, he shouldn't be anywhere near the middle. But yeah, of course, because he has so much gear at this point, he has a decent benefit of being in the middle. Okay, so once again, we keep giving this crazy energy to Val. Now he has the special, he has the basic, and the ultimate is halfway through. And Val itself can give energy whenever you attack the character, so it's pretty much ridiculous. Not only are you applying exposed, if you're using attacks that attack multiple targets, like literally all of the attacks he, she, they, them, Bebop have, then it's not gonna matter. It's literally not gonna matter because you're always applying more exposeds and you're always triggering more of the positive effects. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately the ISO weight doesn't trigger any of those effects, and you can see that sometimes Cant just deals too much damage, and it's a little bit inconvenient. Okay, ultimate once again, and we don't even have to revive the characters. We are on the last wave of Dark Dimension 5, and of course it has been a walk in the park because the combination of the characters we have, plus their utility, plus the negative effects they apply, the turn rewinds, the speed ups, and all of those things together make this team a great team. And this is why, at least for now, is the team I'm gonna take. We might change if we get more cosmic characters, but for now this is what we have available, so yeah. And it crashes the game. Val is so powerful that it literally crashes the game. So now that we saw Val in action, what's the biggest problem with Val? It has massive stats, it has massive utility, and it's also going to be a requirement for the Mystic raid. So what's the problem? The problem is exactly that. It's that he's a Mystic character and we don't have any Mystic gear. It's funny, we are on the last iteration of the teal gear, which in other games they call it mythical gear. Then we have the red gear, which is called exotic gear. But in Marvel Strike Force it's called teal gear, and we don't have any of that. The problem is not even the 17s and the 18s. You can see I have enough 17s. The 18s I also have enough for it, they them, it, beep up, whatever. The problem is the origin gear. We are still struggling on origin gear. We are on, once again, we are on the last iteration of the teal gear, and we are struggling with the Mystic gear, while we have an announcement, we have the drop of another Mystic team, and we don't have any gear to get up one character. How are we going to get up an entire team? And it's not like I have like a lot of characters that have Mystic gear. You can see Dormammu doesn't have gear. Quicksilver maybe was one of the most expensive characters to get up. Cloak and Dagger, I mean, they're also expensive, but we are gonna take them to Dark Dimension 6 as well. Maybe Doctor Doom is another additional character that I could have avoided. But then we have Wakanda, which we need for raids, Gamma raids at 4.5. Absorbing Man, maybe not. Hela, maybe not. But beyond that, I don't have like super heavy Mystic Gear investment, and I still feel like I'm struggling. The same way that we were struggling with the Mutant Gear for Apocalypse, Death Seed, and also Unlimited. Now we are suffering the same effect of the Mystic Gear, and the fact that, yeah, Scopely is not very creative at creating tech characters and skill characters, so they have to drop on us every single patch a ton of Mystic characters to invest in. And now we also have Loki, which is a very expensive character to get up on top of everything. So yeah, the biggest problem is not the uniques themselves, it's just the lack of origin gear that we have for Mystic. And I would not be surprised if we have to get up another additional mutant characters and we fall on the same problem, because yeah, over and over again we get the same type of characters, and there is no diversity on which characters we can gear up. So that's going to be the video, guys. Overall, I think that Dark Dimension 6 is going to be a lot of fun, because there will be a huge challenge, and at the end of the day the rewards are going to be insane. Once again, Super Scroll is not going to be your typical Dark Dimension character. He's a little bit higher than that, and in the future I'm sure that we'll see his value. If not from the envoys, you can definitely be sure that in this channel you are going to find tons and tons of information and ways of how to use this character as soon as you have it unlocked. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all these issues related with Dark Dimension 6, especially about the missing rewards. Like, it was a big payout that it was definitely missed. And are you guys any close of starting Dark Dimension 6? Let me know all of that in the comments below. And once again, make sure that you check out on YouTube and on Twitch throughout the week live and see what's the progress on Dark Dimension. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.